Good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. Let's talk. So, as you can see with the title, today we're going to take a closer look at Anthony Buzbee. Who is Anthony Buzbee, might you ask? I'm so glad you did. All right, so in the case of Deshaun Watson right now, we have about 22 women who are claiming that Deshaun Watson did some things to them, and I did an earlier video discussing a few of these ladies' accounts and what they said about Deshaun Watson and how their stories are not adding up. These are just two out of the 22. I'm not saying all, just the ones that I've encountered. And so I said I was going to keep everybody updated on anything that comes out about this story. And I've been doing some digging of my own and I'll come up with some things. But one thing I want to go ahead and share with everybody is this. The NFL has done their investigations and they've been doing interviews with these young ladies. And some of these young ladies said that they felt uncomfortable with the questioning. They felt victimized because the attorneys, who are women, I might add, they asked this question to them. They asked them, "What were you wearing when you had this encounter with Deshaun Watson?" And the client said that that made them feel victimized because it was insinuating that they were wearing something that was tempting and alluring and causing him to make advances towards them. But um, in a law sense, when you ask a question such as "What were you wearing?" that's to see how much of a memory do you have of that day, because it'll be inconsistent if you can remember every single detail about him and everything that he was doing all the way down to the last detail, but you can't remember what you had on. See, this is a line of questioning that's going to bring out either whether you're telling the truth or if you're making up a story, because there's no way that you can remember such intricate details about this day and you have no recollection whatsoever about what you're wearing. So this is something that this is where I see they're gaslighting and they're starting to try to get away from what this is really about, and now they're trying to demonize the NFL's investigation team to make it seem like, oh, they're victimizing us, they don't believe me, and they're just trying to do this whole dog and pony show. And I'm not going for it, man. So looking into this, and I'm seeing the tactics that's being used by these ladies. They're getting this information from their lawyer. They're being coached by their lawyer. So then I had to ask the question, who is this lawyer? And so I looked him up, Mr. Anthony Glenn Buzbee. And there's been some pretty interesting information about Mr. Buzbee that I would like to share with everybody out here. Um, First and foremost, Mr. Buzbee in 2009, all the way up until 2009, was a Democrat. Then he became a Republican from 2009 to 2018. And now from 2018 to current time to the present time, he's an independent party member. So that shows me one thing, that he's been bounced by as he bounced around from every single um, political party. Well, in 2005, he was the chair of the Galveston Democratic Party, but then he had his own aspirations of politics, and so he started to support Rick Perry. Remember back in 2012 when Rick Perry did his presidential campaign? Well, Mr. Busby was one of those guys who supported his campaign. He actually let him use his jet for the campaign, and he gave him all types of funding for his presidential campaign. So he also turned around in 2016 and hosted fundraisers for, yeah, you guessed it, Donald Trump. So then he goes from being a Democrat to a Republican, and now in the present, he is a independent. So his loyalty lies with whoever's going to put him in the best position to do what he wants to do. Now, let me go back to 2016, because when he hosted that fundraiser for Donald Trump, he was actually arrested for DWI. And this is very important because in December of that same year, the Harris County District Attorney, Mr. Devin Anderson, personally dismissed the case against Mr. Anthony Buzbee. And then there was a controversy about it because it was revealed that Busby had completed a year-long program for probation. He did it in 8 months, and he had contributed money to Devin Anderson's election campaign back in 2014. So this was his buddy giving him a little slap on the wrist under the table for what he had done, and he swept it under the rug so that he could go on to do what he did in 2019. So what did Mr. Anthony Buzbee do in 2019? I'm so glad you asked, people. In 2019, Anthony Buzbee ran for mayor of Houston, but lost to incumbent Sylvester Turner. So this guy has had political aspirations for a long time. He's been a lawyer in the Houston area. He owns a property rental company or a realty company, and he's really been trying to get into politics in the Houston area. He's really trying to get his foot in the door as becoming mayor. He ran in 2009 and he got beat by Sylvester Turner. Why am I bringing all of this up? Well, whenever you went through the Democratic Party and they couldn't help you get elected, and you went through the Republican Party and you kowtowed to Rick Perry and you kowtowed to Donald Trump and you still couldn't get elected. And then you go on over to the Independent Party and you run and you still can't get elected. What is your next best route to get you elected? To have a large criminal trial or a large trial of any type that is going to cause a lot of headlines. That's going to be a real big case that'll definitely put your name out there, and it'll definitely solidify you as somebody who fights against crime. And what better crime to fight against than sexual assault? And that's why you have Mr. Anthony Buzbee with these 22 cases against Deshaun Watson in the city of Houston, Texas, because these are his political aspirations. If he gets this conviction against Deshaun Watson, this will be the biggest thing that ever happened in Houston or in Texas, period. And that would definitely get him solidified to be in the running for the next mayor or whatever. He may be trying to go for governor against Abbott. Who knows? But this guy, Anthony Buzbee, does not have good character. He does not have a good reputation. He's a member of the Good Old Boys Club, and he's probably a part of the team. He probably know the owner of the Houston Texans. Allegedly. That's alleged. I'm just saying. But who knows? Throw in a favor to your old boy so that he can go and shake things up with Deshaun Watson and force him to stay here in Houston or suffer the consequences of these cases being brought against him. People, we need to start looking into things. We need to look deeper into things than what they're showing us on the surface level, because when you start to dig, you start to find connections and you start to see dots that you can put together, and it'll start to make the story make a little bit more sense to you. Mr. Anthony Glenn Buzbee, I hope that this is not what you're doing. I hope you're not doing this and trying to destroy this man's life for your political aspirations. Because if that's what you're trying to do, sir, you need to go to the lowest bowels of hell. You really do. But there are opportunities out here in this world like this. I hope you understand, especially in the field of law. There are some opportunists out here who don't care about destroying a person's life in order for them to step up higher in their goals and what they're trying to do. You don't believe me? Ask our Vice President Kamala Harris. This is your boy D Mac, man. You know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.